Hello guys, welcome to another virtual science lesson, and today we are going to continue the topic of the Earth, the forms that are on Earth. Last week we were talking about rocks and minerals that are built in the Earth, and today we're going to focus on the forms. And guys, in front of you, you can see a diagram presenting various landforms that can be found in the world. And I'm going to focus only on some of them. And guys, some of the forms, as you can see, are more like this. Some of the forms, on the other hand, are more like this. And guys, they have their names. The red ones are the concave forms, czyli formy wklęsłe. Some of them are like this. Oh, sorry for this, I didn't mean to erase that. Convex forms. Formy wypukłe. And guys, let's focus on mountains, valleys, canyons, and hills. Oh, maybe. No, those four are enough. Guys, what does it mean that a form is concave or convex? Let's take a look at a mountain. The top of the mountain, which is the highest point, is much higher than the surrounding area. That means that the mountain is undoubtedly a convex form because it just goes upwards. So when you are standing at the base of the mountain, you have to look upwards to see the top. On the other hand, we have forms like valley, and basically valley doesn't look like this, does it? A valley looks more like this because the bottom of the valley is much lower than the surrounding area. So this is a concave form. The same thing applies to a canyon, which is a very specific type of a valley shaped by a river. And if it comes to a hill, then it basically resembles the mountain. It's also a convex form. So guys, if we are talking about landforms, we have to remember that concave forms are valleys and canyons. If it comes to convex forms, then we have mountains, then we have hills. Hills are just like mountains, but really, really small, much smaller. And guys, here I have a nice diagram of a valley. Unfortunately, I haven't found a similarly nice diagram for a hill, so I will have to draw it. So guys, here we have a hill, which is once again a convex form. And here we have a valley, which is a concave form, just like in this diagram. convex forms are mountains and hills, and concave forms are valleys and canyons. And guys, they have a few elements that can be distinguished. And let's start with convex form, which is a hill. A hill or a mountain, because they will usually, both of them apply to this, or a mountain. They have always the highest point. So this point, which is the highest, is called the peak or the summit. Po polsku szczyt. Then we have one of the highest parts, but not the peak only, which is called the top. Wierzchołek. And we have also on both sides, on each side of a mountain or a hill, we have those areas that are not vertical and not horizontal, and those are slopes. Zbocza. And guys, slopes, depending on whether they look more like this or more like, oh, sorry for this, depending on whether they look more like this or more like that, or that can be called steep, strome, or mild, łagodne. So it is much easier to climb onto a mild slope. This one is a mild slope than to a steep slope. So the elements that I want you to know are the peak, the top, and the slopes. If it comes to a valley, then we have also a few elements. Valleys are the landforms that usually have a river, and that river flows more or less in the same place, and that place that is digged into the ground is called the streambed. Which is koryto. On both sides of the valley, because this is a concave form, we also have slopes. And the part that is the lowest one in the valley is called the flood plain, czyli po polsku dno doliny. So guys, both convex and concave forms, each of them have three elements that I want you to know, which in the case of a valley are floodplain, slopes, and the stream bed. Once again, floodplain is the lowest part of the whole valley. Slopes are the ones that connect the bottom of the valley, the floodplain of the valley, to the surrounding area, which is usually higher, and the stream bed is the place where the river flows. And if it comes to a hill, then we have a peak, which is, or a summit, depending, both words are correct, peak or a summit, which is the highest point of a hill or a mountain, We have a top, which is basically the top part of the hill, and of course on both sides we have slopes, actually on each and every side, because this is just a drawing. In reality they all have four sides. We can also think about the area that is right below the hill or a slope as the base, podnóże. Guys, in case you need some more information about this, we have similar diagrams on page 144 and 145 in our textbook. And guys, the terrain, the land around us, can look like this. But it can also look a little bit like this. And it can look like this. Those are the types of terrain. Rodzaje ukształtowania terenu. And guys, this first type of terrain is the plain, równina, where the land is totally flat, like nothing is really happening. It's just a flat, vast space. We might also have hilly terrain, czyli po polsku teren pagórkowaty. And the last one in Poland, it's the most obvious in the very south of the country, which are mountains. Teren górzysty. So guys, to sum it up, we have a few landforms that we can see in our neighborhood. Some of the forms are concave, which means that the central point of the form is below the surrounding area, and those are valleys and canyons. Some of them are, on the other hand, convex, which means that the central point is higher than the surrounding areas, and we have hills and we have mountains. Hills have peaks, they have tops, they have slopes, and also the bases. If it comes to the valley, then it consists of a floodplain, which is the bottom of the valley. It consists of slopes, usually on both sides, and the stream bed in which the river flows. We also have a few types of terrain, such as plains, such as hilly terrains, or mountains. Guys, for today, this is it. Thanks for your attention and stay at home.